Can a DUMBLE handle classic dirt pedals? That is the question and the premise and the clickbait of this video. If you've been staying up on this channel, you know that I've recently become the proud owner of a Steel String Singer by Grand, a DUMBLE style amplifier, obviously wrapped in beautiful purple suede that smells like airwalks made in the 1990s. So anyways, in this video, I'm gonna throw a pile of, classic, some might even say essential dirt pedals at the Steel String Singer to see how it handles it. Of course, I'm gonna start off with the Tube Screamer, the most classic dirt pedal there is, especially when talking about DUMBLE style amplifiers. Then I'm gonna move on to the Warm Audio Centavo, clearly a Klon clone. We'll see how it handles that. Then I've got the JHS pedals, Germanium booster, which is a treble booster style pedal. And then I'm gonna do my personal favorite, vintage overdrive, my own personal early 80s DOD 250 overdrive preamp, if it'll pass signal. Last time I used it, the pots were getting pretty gritty. Then my favorite rat style pedal, the Bigger Pedals woodcutter. And then we've got to try a classic fuzz. So I'm gonna try the Electro Harmonix Op Amp Big Muff. We've got the Pumpkin Pie Big Muff here. And then just to get a little weird and crazy, I'm gonna throw the Boss HM-2 at it to see if it can handle some higher gain metal style tones. I'm not gonna do my full twist every knob, explore every combination thing. I'm just gonna play some riffs. I'm gonna try to make this nice and light and tidy. I'm really just trying to document it for myself because I'm about to drag this to the practice space and use it with one of my bands, and I'm probably gonna leave it there for a couple of weeks because it's heavy. And also I wanna get to know it in a band situation. I wanna have opinions on this amp when it's at full volume. So let's get started. Let's plug in the Tube Screamer and see what that sounds like. By the way, this is a Keeley modded TS9. It has the Mod Plus mod on there. I don't have an unmodified Ibanez Tube Screamer, but there's like a million different versions of the Tube Screamer out there. So let's not get too picky, all right? And of course, I am using my Player Plus Strat so that I can have access to single coil and humbucker tones across this video. I have it set up pretty clean. The FET gain and volume are pretty low, bright, deep, and rock switches are engaged. The EQ is pretty dang flat. I don't have this set up to be terribly spicy at all. Filter is noon and 1 o'clock. I'm gonna keep the reverb pretty low, and master is down there at the first notch, really, really quiet. And presence is at 1 o'clock as well. I'm not gonna keep you updated on what I change as I go. I'm just letting you know where this clean channel is starting off. Middle pickup. Bridge pickup. All right, Tube Screamer, here we go. Let's see what kind of tones I can find here. Start off with everything at noon. Try it on the middle. Now I'm gonna try dialing in the amp a little bit hot. Not all the way hot. I don't think I'm gonna do that much in this video, but I wanna get some grit going on. There we go. There we go. Nice bit of grit there. Edge of breakup. You can push into the grit or pull back and get clean. Here we go. Obviously, it's gonna like a tube screamer. That is like the most classic option. And it's making me realize, admit to myself, something that I already knew and that you guys probably already knew. I'm like the worst person to be demoing a Klon style amplifier. I'm not someone who like worships the tone of the guitar gods. I'm not someone who spent my life trying to learn all the classic riffs. I kind of just like to noodle and have fun and play my own stuff. And I mean, when you're throwing a tube screamer and a Klon and all sorts of other stuff at a DUMBLE, there's probably a significant amount of people watching this video that are frustrated that I'm not playing the classic riffs, that I don't seem to know anything. And they're probably right. They probably have a good point. So anyways, let's get into this Klon clone. Let's dial it back to be clean again. Let's start off with the classic kind of like clean boost preampy sound of the Klon. I'm not sure where the treble control will land, but I'll leave the output and the gain right about there. Definitely a boost in volume. A brightness and a clarity, a sparkle is added as well. It does sound pretty dang great. Getting a little bit of sizzle on the high end there. Let's take the gain up to noon and see what happens. It starts to get barky, doesn't it? Ooh. That's smoky. the way up just to see. Middle pickup. Bridge pickup. Fighting a little bit of feedback there. We'll try the amp a little dirty. Try it without. Not bad. Not bad at all. Honestly, I think it sounded best on those low gain settings, which is the classic way to use a Klon style circuit. Plenty of like mid hump and grit and boost with the gain up though. There's certainly ways you could use that. I didn't do a full exploration there, but I feel like I scratched the surface pretty decently. Now on to the JHS pedals Germanium boost here, which is a treble booster style circuit with a very rare, unobtainable diode, resistor. I don't know, there's some part in there that makes it worth $400 on the used market for some reason. Let's go clean again. Got that knob all the way up. That looks dangerous. Maybe it's not. Sounds great right off the bat. Let's try it on the bridge pickup. Try it on the neck pickup now. I don't remember if I totally understood this little switch when I did my initial video of this pedal, but it makes a ton of sense now. Like going into a clean amp, in the clean settings, the up position sounds fantastic. It's full, it's got lots of mids, it's got some grit and some bite to it, but it's not nasal and thin. But then running into a hot amp, that up position can be a bit much. It can be a bit too much low end, a bit too much thickness, and dropping it down in that lower position gets you this bright, nasal, cut through the mix sort of sound. And then like this, just face it, just you turn the knob all the way up and then you break it off. It doesn't even need a knob. Now we're gonna mess with my DOD 250. This is the first 250 I ever bought. I bought it in a Guitar Center parking lot. It's a Craigslist deal sort of situation. And I've been hooked ever since. Let's see how the steel string singer can handle it. It needs a little maintenance. It's just the definition of gritty, nasty, like torn speaker, primitive overdrive, in my opinion anyway. This 250 clearly needs some maintenance. The gain knob is real dirty and gritty, and I'm getting a lot more noise out of it than I should be. So I should pop that open and see if I can clean it out at some point. On to the woodcutter. This is my favorite rat style pedal. It's not a fully traditional rat, but I just like it. Roll things back to clean again. Now with the 250, I did find that on the clean setting, I rolled the high filter back one click. And then on the dirty setting, it sounded better put back into my normal position for it. All right, here we go. Again, it seems like running dirt into the clean setting on here, when it's dialed in clean, pulling back that high filter just a click makes a really big difference. All right, let's get dirty now. Interesting. It took quite a bit more tweaking of the amp to get a sound that I liked with the woodcutter here. There was a lot more low end that was flubbing it out a little bit. So I actually flicked off the deep and the bright and put it down to the jazz setting. Yeah, that's right. That was the jazz setting. And I messed with the low filter a bit. So we'll put it back to where I had it going into the next pedal. Big Muff, the only technical fuzz in this video. And still, it's not, is it really a fuzz? Some people call a big muff a distortion. A big muff can be whatever you want it to be. The filter on the Silver String Singer here changes a lot with a fuzz pedal. Jeez. Just messing with the low filter and the high filter was changing a lot of how that fuzz was being handled and how it was hitting the amplifier. Let's try it with it a little bit grittier now. I'm excited to use the amp at band practice tonight now. Just the tone shaping going on with the fuzz. And I use fuzz almost exclusively, or at least heavy distortion and heavy overdrive with the band that I'm playing with tonight. It's not my surf band. It's like my my post-punk, sort of gothy, kind of like Gen X nostalgia kind of band that I've become part of. Here we go. The HM-2. I want to plug this into the 12 volt setting because originally these shipped with 12 volt power supplies, and this is one of the versions that prefers that. With 9 volt, it's actually starving the voltage a bit. I guess I'll start off with everything up, the Swedish death metal chainsaw setting here. All right, buckle up, here we go. That's stupid. Do people actually use this pedal with that setting? That's silly. That's not so bad. That actually sounds great. It took a lot of dialing in. It took a lot of experimenting with the filter and the presence and the various other EQ controls to get the HM-2 sounding the way I wanted it to. But the fact that all those controls are there and I can completely change the character of this amp to work with a pedal like this is pretty incredible. And it's honestly, I think it is the selling point of a DUMBLE style amp, of the steel string singer, is that it is so versatile. There is so much tonal control that if you just plugged in and you're like, this doesn't sound very great, DUMBLEs must not take HM-2s very well. You just haven't dialed it in. Like, it took the Tube Screamer right off the bat. It's like, yummy, feed me Tube Screamer. I love the taste of Tube Screamer. You had no problem with this. Same for, you know, the treble booster, and the 250 and things like that, when it started getting into higher gain stuff, and I have a feeling if I'd spent more time messing with things, I could have even gotten a lot better with the woodcutter. The higher gain stuff, the woodcutter, the big Muff, the HM-2, it takes some tweaking, but it's all there. You can get the sounds that you want or you need. You can turn it into the clean platform that you're looking for, just because there's so many controls, which really just confirms kind of my initial reaction to getting to know this amp, in that I think the reason why this style amp, why the DUMBLE style amp is known for being associated with, you know, these guitar tone gods, is not because you just turn it on and it'll make you sound like a guitar tone god. It's because if you have a talented ear, if you have a creative ear, there's more than enough controls here to find the sound that is locked up in your head. And I think that's really the key. It's not a turn it on and like, oh, there's the sound sort of amplifier. It's not a, oh, here, let me duplicate the settings. Oh, let's do the Bill and Ted and just, you know, dime everything and that'll sound good. You have to have some finesse. You have to have some intelligence behind your eardrums, some creativity to dial this in, to get the sounds that the guitar gods were using. Does that make sense? So anyways, thanks for sticking around for my little experiment here. I mean, this was more for me than for any of you. You guys get to be along for the ride. Hopefully this was useful to someone. Maybe it'll help influence someone who's on the fence, who's been shopping for an amp of this style or this exact amp, to be like, you know what? Yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Or even more importantly, if you've been on the fence and you're like, ah, no, that's not for me. That's important. I'm happy to provide that service to help talk you out of a major purchase, to help you realize, oh, that's not really what I'm looking for. That's part of, you know, the goal of what I do around here. So let me know down in the comment section, did I push you towards this amp or did I push you away from this amp? Also, click all the links down below. I'll have a link to this guitar and as many of the pedals as I can find, and obviously the amplifier. And you know what? Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude, nasty comments, support us on Patreon, buy a shirt if you're naked, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.